Hello, my name is Natalie Koch and I'm the Director of Advancement at A Door of Hope Pregnancy Center. Welcome to week 2 of the Baby Bottle Benefit. I am joined today by Stephen and Alyse Vogel and their beautiful daughter Finley. Stephen and Alyse are a couple who went through our Hope program. So many times you get to hear from moms, but you don't very often get to hear from the perspective of a couple who were able to take our classes and learn together. So today we're going to have a conversation with Stephen and Alyse, and you can hear a little more about how they benefited from A Door of Hope. So just talking to you guys, tell us how you learned about A Door of Hope, and then what made you decide to start taking these classes?
Well, we go to the Journey Church, and Stephen knows Beth Ann there, and she was telling him about A Door of Hope when I became pregnant with Finley, and I think through there we were able to start going to Door of Hope classes while I was pregnant. And then up until Finley was 2 or 2.5.
Okay, how far along in your pregnancy were you when you started going?
About 6 or 7 months pregnant.
Okay. And then in finding out that these classes were offered, were there any specific areas you were thinking of where you thought we could probably use some coaching?
I feel like it was everything at that point. Like we were first-time parents. I act like a kid myself sometimes, so it was very nerve-wracking to be like, oh, I'm gonna have a daughter, especially being a guy, like you hear daddy's girl and everything. So I think for me, it was patience. So learning to be patient with the little one, and then swaddling. So how to swaddle, how to go about it, because it was one of those things where I didn't know anything. And I wasn't gonna do the research myself. So it was great to have an outlet where I could spend time, and that it was specifically to learn about how to take care of a little kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in addition to learning about being parents, learning about the stages of pregnancy, what benefit did you guys find it had for you as a couple?
I think that they offered faith-based classes was nice. And then working on our marriage and our relationship together as a couple and as parents. That's obviously the most important relationship above your child, but after God. So that was really helpful because as a mom, and a dad, you're not getting much sleep. You're quick to get angry. You're quick to be irritable. So the faith-based classes really helped in working on our marriage together.
That's awesome.
And I think, like I said, I wasn't going to do the research myself. So the fact that because we were so hectic with our schedule, to have a time where we could sit together and we knew that, hey, we would grow together, because we always say we're gonna do stuff at home and it doesn't always happen. So the fact that we were able to have time and to grow together, and Beth Ann already knew us. So she took a lot of time and effort to help us grow even more probably than anybody else would. But it was good to know that we were able to grow in faith and also help our daughter, because we want her to grow up in Christ. So if we're not centered, then it's not going to help her. So it was very helpful just knowing that we had that.
I think that's awesome, and I think that's something a lot of people don't necessarily know about our Hope program is, yes, you take the classes, you earn points, you can get diapers and things like that, but there's a mentorship element to it for the moms, even for couples. So I love it that you guys were committed and dedicated to going through that for a full 2 years. That is a big time commitment, so kudos to you for doing that. That's awesome. So Stephen, you touched on it a little bit, but can you go a little deeper into, as a man, as a first-time dad, you're coming to a pregnancy center that isn't something that a lot of men really think about. So talk a little bit more about your experience, what surprised you about the benefits you experienced there, and how would you encourage other dads?
I think as men, we want to support our wives. I think as husbands and believers, we want to support our wives. So obviously, I don't know what she's going through. I will never know what she's going through. So to be able to go there and to learn, hey, she's this way because she's going through pregnancy. She's not crazy. So it's like to go through that. But to go through that and to learn how to support her, because there are certain things I can't do. But to know what I can do and to help her through the pregnancy was good, because now I can support her with our daughter, and know that, hey, I'm also useful, because obviously you see the connection they have. The dad wants to be useful as well. So to know that, hey, I can do this, and that I can tell other dads about, hey, it's because you're a dad, you can still go, was great.
If you were to encounter a dad who is in a situation where he's experiencing an unplanned pregnancy with a partner and he's terrified, how would you encourage him?
I think it's one of those things where, I mean, I was terrified and it was planned.
Right.
So obviously it's going to be difficult either way. But I think knowing that, I mean, coming home from work and having to go daddy, 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 like things like that, letting them know that there is a purpose for it and there is a reward. I found there's no greater love than when she loves me. My wife does a great job, but they're two different types of love. So to have a place where you can go and they love you there, regardless of your situation. It's one of those things where I just encourage dads that even if you're a single dad, it's perfectly fine to go and know you're gonna get the resources and the help that you may not get from the world. Because a lot of times we look for help outside of God.
Yes.
And knowing that this is Christ-centered, knowing that they have the resources there to help you that are Christ-centered will help you and then help your little one.
Excellent, thank you for that. And then Alyse, as a mom, you got to experience a Door of Hope, you got to experience the educational programs, but how has being a mom changed you? And then also, if you were to encounter a woman dealing with an unplanned pregnancy, how would you encourage her?
How has it changed me? I'm more cautious.
Okay.
I'm definitely more cautious because it's not just my life that I have to take care of. I now have another life that I need to take care of and make sure that they're surviving and thriving. So I wasn't very cautious in my youth, but now with a child, like you're forced to do that. You have no choice. Like you can't say, no, I'm not going to protect my child.
Yes.
You're going to say, yes, I have to step up to the plate and be a responsible parent now. So yeah, definitely more cautious and making sure that her needs are met along with Steven. So it's just an added responsibility. It sometimes can be hard, but
Sure, absolutely.
and then the second part, a woman experiencing an unplanned pregnancy, it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, but just know that you have support around you even if it doesn't feel that way. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yes.
Because help is there and Door of Hope is here and they have resources for you that can help you along an unplanned pregnancy, but just remembering that God placed that child in your womb for a reason and has called you to be a parent or mother, father, and that he feels that you're equipped to be a parent. So if you feel like you're not and you can't do it, you definitely can.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then final question for both of you. What's one thing you guys wish more people knew about a Door of Hope?
I think for me, like you said, it's not all about the female. You can definitely grow. You can definitely grow as a male, not only as a husband or a boyfriend, but as a father, and to know that there are resources. So even if Door of Hope may not be for you, they have resources there that are outside of Door of Hope. So just know that I know Door of Hope will be perfectly fine if you find help elsewhere, and just knowing that you're getting the help that you need and that God wants you to have. So men, don't be scared to go. It's definitely a blessing. Like I said, I couldn't swaddle. You should have seen my first swaddling session. It was horrible, but it worked. I got through it, and we still use a lot of things we learned then now. So you can extrapolate things for years, and it's been a blessing and a great help to us, because now we know having a kid isn't as say difficult as it can be, knowing that you have these resources. Because if we went in this blind, would have been bad. But knowing we had this, it gave us a leg up on somebody that may not have it.
What about you, Alyse?
I think it's just for any woman that is pregnant. If you're pregnant and it's your first pregnancy, second pregnancy, however many pregnancies it might be for you, the resources are there, the assistance is there on just how to care and give Christ to a child through the months and the years. You know, you can look ahead at tantrums, which is what we did when Finley was like 8 months old. I'm like, let's deal with this now. So when we get there, we can handle it, but know that you can kind of go throughout the years and understand the child's development and how to assist in that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you for just your willingness to articulate your experience so well. We are so glad we could help you the way we helped you, and clearly Finley is thriving. So, so thank you both. You can help couples, moms, dads by supporting the baby bottle benefit. We've had hundreds of people go through our Hope program. We want to keep that going for years to come. So go ahead and go over to our Baby Bottle Benefit campaign page today. Click that support button, and we will see you next week for our next interview. Thank you.